Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about a water heater. This is an older water heater. I think it's about 2005 or 6. It's a GE and the pilot light won't stay lit. I'm going to talk to you about a few of the problems that you might see and how I'm going to fix mine. Alright guys, so this water heater, I've been trying to light it. So basically you hold down the pilot button, you hit the striker, it lights the pilot, but no matter how long I wait, I let up on the button and it goes out. So normally that's a thermocouple, right? I'll show you how to check that in just a minute. But in our case, it's not a thermocouple. And I'll show you what we ran into. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out all these connections here, the thermocouple, the pilot gas line, and the main burner gas line out of the gas valve first. And we're going to do a little test, and I'll show you a couple things. So usually if your pilot doesn't stay lit, what you're usually running into is a bad thermocouple. When you let up on the button, you let up on the button, pilot doesn't stay lit. So just those of you that don't know, the pilot puts a little fuel there. Actually, let's hook it back up and I'll show you real quick how it works. Okay. We're not going to hook up the pilot or the thermocouple because it doesn't work. I already know it doesn't work. So you hold the button down, you hit the igniter, and you can see here we've got our flame. So the flame warms up the thermocouple, and that sends voltage to the tip here of the thermocouple. So you can check voltage with milliamps from this to this tip here. So if you set your multimeter to well, whatever the appropriate milliamps are, while this is heating up, you can test this, and if it's sending the right amount of milliamps, then your thermocouple is good. So I've already done that. This is actually a brand new thermocouple I just put in. The thermocouple is working fine. The problem is the gas valve. So if you can watch here, as soon as I let up, that goes out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to replace the gas valve. So we're going to shut things off and disconnect. All right, first thing you do is you got to drain the water heater, because inside here there's a probe that goes into the water tank, and if you take it out, it'll run water everywhere. So I've been draining this for the past few minutes. Hopefully it's about done, although it's still going. We'll see. Sometimes it can take a while to drain that at the slow rate that these things flow at. The next step is to shut the gas off, and we're going to disconnect all this piping off the side so we can spin this. This actually unscrews out of the water heater. I'll show you that in just a minute. All right, I broke it loose using a little bit of leverage here and pliers on there. Now I'm going to take this out of here so that we can rotate it. There's the old gas valve, and we're getting a little bit of water still coming out here. Looks like it's fairly clean at this level. That's good. I think I'm going to go ahead and just remove this thing out too. It'll flow a little better. It's kind of a good way to flush your water heater of most of the debris that's in there. You won't get it all out, but most of it. All right, we're going to put the valve in, thread it and tighten it up here. As you can see, my valve up on top up there isn't shutting off all the way, so we've got some water, but we're really close to the floor drain. I'm not worried about it. Now we're going to snug this up pretty good. I got some big pliers, so it's not going to be super tight with these big pliers, but if you don't have a lot of leverage, it might seem tighter, but you want to just kind of bring it around to where it's upright like that, so we can get our gas valve in and it's close to the same alignment as we had before. Pull that little seal off of there. We're going to pull the same fittings out of the old valve here. And got that out. Now with gas, you don't want to get any on the inside there. Thread this together. We'll put it back together either at the union or where the track pipe connects to your iron. However your connection was before, you're just going to put that back. And I'm going to wait to snug that all the way until I get my top pipe in. That's going to tell me my exact alignment. If you're not sure what this is for, this is just to collect sediment. It should have this on there. Some don't, but it's nice to have it. Any sediment that comes through the pipe ends up down here and not inside your gas valve. Okay. Okay, that's going to give me a little trouble, isn't it? There we go. All right, now with that started, I can bring this around exactly where I want it at the top. Okay. Okay. You can't see me, I'm off camera right now, but I'm connecting the gas line on the top here is all I'm doing. So. Alright, I got all the gas line connected above. I'm going to go ahead and put this in now because we've got our gas valve in. If the water fills up, that's no problem. In fact, we're going to fill it up in a few minutes anyway. So here's my, the shut off. The valve basically is this type of valve. There's different types on water heaters, but while you got this whole thing out, you might check the washer. My washer looks pretty good, so I think we're going to be okay with this one. Let's see how it does. Snug it down, and hopefully we'll quit leaking water and I can start drying up this floor. Alright, here's the burner assembly. I still got my new thermocouple in here. I'm just going to leave it. Even though the other one probably wasn't bad, we're still just going to leave the new one there. Alright. Oh, there's a little plastic on the bottom of this new valve too. Let's get that off of there. Probably should have pulled that off first. But there we go. Keeps the valve clean. These here, you don't need any thread sealer. They seal at the flare point. But don't cross thread it. It's aluminum body, so you be careful with that. Alrighty. Can't remember what size that was. There we go. Okay, so now before I tighten that all the way, I'm going to check my alignment. Let's get this out of the water. In the meantime, easier said than done, but I would say, isn't everything easier said than done? Yeah. Pretty much applies to everything. There we go. Okay, finally got that back in. Took a little bit there, but I got it. Now let's tighten this. All the way. Try to get these pieces back in. The new valve came with a couple of different adapters. which I won't need because I've already got the right threaded piece on the old pilot gas line here. Okay, the last thing to connect is my thermocouple here. All right, we're ready to do a test. Now I've got a lot of air in this line, so sometimes it's a good idea to bleed a little bit out down here. But if you're not conscious of this, you're going to fill your house with a bunch of gas. So you just want to take a little bit till you start to smell the gas, and then put it back on. And then I'm going to open the door too to make sure we got it ventilated well here. But you don't want to leave that off for very long. All right, I'm going to open the door. I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna shut the camera off for a minute. We're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes to air out just in case, to be safe, and then we'll try to light it. All right, I got everything ready to go here. So since we bled the air out, it shouldn't be too hard. So what you want to do is make sure this is all the way down, and then turn it to pilot, and then hold the button down. Now that'll bleed the air out of the pilot and override the thermocouple as long as that button's down. So we push right here to ignite it, and let's see what we get. Here, let me see if I can get you guys to see this. There it is. See the pilot is lit, and I'm holding the button down here. Hold this down for about a minute, and here I'll pause it for a second so you guys don't have to wait the whole time, but here we go. I'm gonna let go. Here we go. Okay, I let go, and we are good. Now I've got the water running in right now, so I think we're fine to go ahead and fire this up. First you take this from pilot to on. Okay, so now you can't override the thermocouple, right, for safety. Now let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Burner is lit. Okay, so that's how you diagnose a thermocouple and replace the gas valve on a water heater.